Alright guys, so now we're going to go over when my training partner doesn't let me circle towards north-south, where I'm going to force a reaction, so I'm going to bait connection, and then it's going to ultimately expose the north-south pass here. So, a lot of times when I like to do this is when I'm starting to Toreando and I feel like they're very reactive to my Toreando passing here. So it's that Toreando once, and he's doing like a massive movement where he's almost starts to invert. So let's say I get a good angle here. Yeah, he's inverting, he's pummeling back here. And he's immediately going to start to try and force connection because he's obviously doesn't like me moving on the outside and threatening him with the speed here. So as he's swinging his leg towards the reverse de la Riva to try and catch. So I Toreando, as he's recovering, here I'm leaving my leg inside. So he thinks he's going to be able to come and start attaching his reverse de la Riva hook. As I see the leg coming inside, so I Toreando here, I'm stepping. As I feel it come inside, I start to windshield wipe my leg. So I come heel to butt. So I'm here. He starts to try and swing the leg to hook. I go heel to butt. I switch now. Immediately, this hand starts to block the high pummel. Because you'll find a lot of the times here, when they come and I start to bait, I end up here, they automatically high pummel this leg. So I'm just going to start to shock the leg initially so it doesn't end up on my hip. Because if I try and dive straight to north-south off of this without clearing this leg, here, yeah, I can sometimes end up in this position where they can threaten the corkscrew, and I'm at kind of like not a good angle. So if I start to thigh drag from here, he's probably going to be able to get his knee inside, closing down, and I'm not going to be able to pass from there. So I want to just shuck the leg. You don't always need to do it because they're not always going to high pummel. So if they don't high pummel the leg, we can just dive straight into north-south. But if they do high pummel, this is when we're going to start to block. So I Toreando, he starts to recover. I can windshield, I can almost direct his leg as well. So here, as it comes in, I start to bait, I go heel to butt. I immediately block, and now I start to dive my head straight into this north-south. So what I don't want to do as well, I don't want to go too far away. So I don't want to windshield wipe on my leg and end up all the way here and now try and dive from miles away. The benefit of this baiting is I end up almost immediately chest to chest. So we'll be here, he starts to grab up, and I can immediately dive into this space here. In that instance, he didn't high pummel the leg, so I didn't need to block with my hand. I could just dive straight into the space and get the pass. So, yeah, nice. The leg here, I feel like this leg's already high pummeled. I can shuck it off and start diving in towards the north-south here. So, here. So he's down. I start to Toreando. As he's recovering, he's trying to force connection. Here, I can even start to threaten to go to the other side again. Now, when I feel like he recovers this way, he starts pummeling the leg inside. I step, deep, shuck, reaching for the lat, and I can start to pull, diving in towards my north-south series here. So, I should do it from here. The instances when this leg starts to swing, I can see he's trying to force connection. Just before he touches, I go windshield wiper. I block his top shin. I get my right hand inside the hip. I dive ear to stomach. My left hand now punches through as I start to drop my hip here. Or you can even end up in the same position where I'm driving down in the tripod. Yeah. Obviously, this one's very reaction based, so you need to be adapting. You need to make sure you're aware of how they're trying to recover in that moment and then like reacting to that, right? You'll tend to see smaller guys more likely to high pummel. Bigger guys are more likely to place their foot on the floor and start to shrink away when they find they get into these defensive cycles. So you need to be aware of who you're rolling with and what reactions they're going to tend to give, right? A more flexible guy is definitely going to be trying to really pummel these legs and trying to get you into a reverse de la Riva. Whereas someone who's bigger is probably, when I get this angle, he's not going to hype on this leg yet. He's probably going to step his foot and start to hip escape away. Exactly, but the mechanically it's the same, right? if he's high pummeling, I'm going to post. If he's not high pummeling, I'm just going to dive straight in here. So let's say I was against someone bigger here. I'm going to just be able to dive straight into this space where I'm closing and then I can start to retract my hand, blocking the hip again. So using the same details for the north-south pass where I'm grabbing the lat, trying to get my right hand in front of the hip and really putting myself chest to chest and not letting him get his knees back inside.